Hello, this is John from MyBurnOutGames.com. It's Monday, September 12th, 2016, the first day of my vacation, and I will spend a little bit of time playing Thunderblade for the Sega Master System. Now, Thunderblade was originally released in the arcades in 1987. It was developed and published by Sega. This port followed a year later in 1988. I've not played any version of Thunderblade, so I have no reference point for the game. That being said, I have found this version to be extremely underwhelming. I am a fan of shoot-'em-ups. I'm not very good at the games, but I still enjoy the genre nonetheless. And this one seems to take after Xevious pretty heavily. I have to shoot some airborne enemies, and occasionally I'll have to launch some air-to-ground missiles to take out some ground-based enemies. And there's some 2D stages, there's some 3D stages that are somewhat reminiscent of Space Harrier or Afterburner, as what's displayed on the screen right now. But I think my issues with this version of the game are probably just with this version of the game, not with Thunderblade in general. It's probably very similar to my complaints about Afterburner for the Sega Master System, that it's just a lousy port, that the Sega Master System just couldn't handle the original arcade version. And it doesn't help that I'm not a terribly big fan of Xevious. I definitely understand and respect its place in the history of video games, and specifically shoot-'em-ups. It being one of the first, or one of the, I think it was maybe the first with scrolling backgrounds. But I don't know, this version of Thunderblade is just very boring, and that's kind of evident in this first stage. The background just scrolls by pretty slowly. There's nothing that fantastic about the backgrounds, nothing that fantastic about the waves of enemies that come. I don't know. I have played it a little bit before recording this video just to kind of get my bearings, check it out. And yeah, it's not a game I foresee playing very long. I think it has something like 12 stages, or I think what it describes as stages it has 4 of, but then it has 12 rounds, so there's like 12 stages essentially in the game. They take place across 4 different environmental backgrounds. This first one takes place in the city. I don't know specifically where the next ones take place. I've not been able to progress past this round, this stage. This is the first that plays like Afterburner, plays like Space Harrier. Game's somewhat difficult. I find it hard to avoid those specifically. Shots from the tanks. There is a cheat code of sorts to continue at the game over screen. If you hold down right and press 2, you'll continue. You can use that up to 2 times, I think it is. Shout out to GameFAQs for cluing me in on that one. Sometimes the hit detection seems a little off. Of course, I am piloting a rather big object, so that could be what's causing me some confusion. But that second stage, that second round, that may be as far as I get. I hope to progress past that and maybe even reach the boss of this first section. A boss fight caps off each stage. So I think there's 3 rounds per stage, 4 stages in the game. Doesn't support any multiplayer that I'm aware of. Well, actually I know it doesn't support any multiplayer because it specifically states single player on the back of the box. Okay, I think that was a pretty good run. Let's see if we can improve it on this stage. Nope. Okay, so, yep, I went ahead and input that little command for the continue, and we're going to continue out on this stage. This round. I'm just going to call them stages. I always call individual levels of a game stages, so this game's terminology is somewhat different than mine, so whatever. It's a stage. Man. And this stage is kind of boring, I think, just graphically. I mean, with these buildings that are going by on the side of this highway, looks like they're going by at like 10 frames a second. Just really lackluster. Seems like that's the best way to take care of those tanks, is just to mash the missile button, which is the same solution to dealing with these airborne enemies. Just mash the gun button. Ooh. This makes me curious to play the original Thunderblade, or maybe a better port of it, just for comparison, because like I said, I do enjoy shoot 'em ups. Man, am I going to make it to the next stage? This one's got to be ending soon, right? Come on. Seems like it's never ending. Just wave after wave. Lots of... What is up with all the tanks? Come on. Seems like the enemies pop in with not a whole lot of time to deal with them. Alright, so this is officially the farthest I've made it. This would be the first boss of the game. One of the big fortresses. Seems like it's putting up little resistance. Is this it? Seems to be a giant stealth fighter. Okay, yeah, so it's a little bit of a challenge, but this seems like a real simple shoot 'em up. Very, almost prototypical shoot 'em up. Let me see, in the manual it will say what that boss was, but I'm not going to find any time. Yes, I will. Stage 1, Mobile Fortress, SRS 78A1, Blackbird, 2,000 points. Okay, so now it seems like it's picking up the difficulty a little bit. See if I still have some continues. I do. So this would be the desert. Fell victim to the same wave of enemies. Just ran into them. I can only fire one air-to-ground missile at a time, so until I hit a tank, I can't fire another one. Yeah, I didn't have any more continues. Give another go of it. Seems like, I just had a brain fart and I went the wrong way. Seems like sometimes the my missiles won't always make a sound. I'm sucking it up now. Let's see. So it seems like maybe the Master System is getting bogged down with too many things happening at once. Enemies on the screen, sound effects from them, sound effects from my weapons fire. I'm not going to continue, not going to waste a continue on that. Just going to dive right back into it. So that can kind of be tough for me to realize if I have a missile available, since the audio cues don't always trigger. That wave pattern can be troublesome. Alright. Was able to successfully evade that barrage of bullets. Seems like I'm doing okay. Oh man, right at the end. Oh. Yeah, it's just gonna load me right here where it just progresses on to the next round. The next stage. On the wrong side to take out these tanks. Keep switching the wrong side. Yeah, visually not a very impressive game. Of course, I don't think I found a game on the Master System that I kind of look at and say, wow, you know, for the time, that looked really impressive. That was nice. Everything I've played has been somewhat bland. Ugh. Gonna go ahead and continue. You know, it is, I should say it is impressive that it is able to do this sort of, early attempts at 3D. That in itself is impressive, but it doesn't look appealing. Now it doesn't look appealing. You know, maybe back then I would have been, whoa, look, my building's three-dimensional. It's like what I've seen in some arcade games. But I'm playing it at my house. It seemed like I just about moved into that tank's fire. Oh, 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 oh. Kind of lobbing them at me. I'm in the wrong side again. Oh, man. And I know that's right at the end. Nope, still got a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna call it quits there. You know, this is a subpar shoot 'em up in my opinion. It's playable. I don't find it terribly enjoyable. I did, make it farther than I have in this episode. That was somewhat of a delight. But, this is the first day of my vacation. I don't want to spend too much time playing this game. So, that's it for Thunderblade. This was John from MyBirdOnGames.com. I will continue playing the Master System this week. I have a few more games in the lineup, hopefully some more enjoyable than Thunderblade. But time will tell, so come back and check out the next Let's Plays I put out. Thanks for watching this one. Once again, this is John from MyBirdOnGames. You can check me out there. You can check me out on Twitter at John Engelman, JohnEngelman. If you connect to me through one of those places, you will be able to connect to me through a variety more, I'm sure. And that's it. So, thank you. Bye-bye.